Today, we're going to talk about the diaphragm, what it does, how you can use it more intentionally to help serve you so that you can live healthier, have less pain, and just so that it functions for you instead of against you. Stay tuned. Okay, you guys, so the diaphragm, arguably the muscle that is most ignored in the body, and also the muscle that we use the most, because I don't know about you guys, but I breathe 24/7, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be alive right now, or I would be intentionally holding my breath, but then I wouldn't be able to talk with you guys and teach you this fun diaphragm release and how we're gonna use it in case your guys' diaphragm is tight or just not functioning the way that it should be. So let's talk about this for a minute. Your diaphragm sits underneath your rib cage. It's basically like a parachute that looks kind of like this. And when you breathe in, your pelvic floor drops and your diaphragm drops to give you more room for your lungs to expand, and your lungs are above your diaphragm. And when it relaxes or you breathe out, your pelvic floor raises or returns to normal really, and your diaphragm relaxes and goes back to normal. So when that diaphragm, maybe it's tight, maybe you have GI stuff and there's a lot of inflammation in that area, and that inflammation is like glue, like cellular glue, and it gets really sticky, and so maybe your diaphragm isn't moving the way that it should be, or maybe it's just moving a lot less than it should be. So we're gonna show you today, or I am gonna show you today, how to kind of get in there and actually release that muscle, because it's like anything else. It can get trigger points. It can get tight. It needs to be stretched. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about belly breathing. So a lot of us, when we're breathing, we're mouth breathers, or we're using our accessory muscles through our throat, and also in a kind of our neck muscles, and then also our upper chest. Really, if you wanna be efficient and like being a human, like these basic things, you guys, we really need to learn how to use our belly to breathe. So when you breathe in, your belly, I don't know if you guys could hear that, but my belly's ready for lunch. When you breathe in, your belly should expand. So it's literally like growling every time I move my belly breathe. So essentially when you breathe in, your belly is gonna go out, and when you breathe out, your belly is gonna return to normal. And so my favorite way to practice that is by laying down when I'm in bed, right before I'm ready to go to bed, and just kind of breathing and just having my hands just rest there and let it breathe in, expand my belly, and breathe out. A lot of times too, I don't know if this is more of a women specific thing, guys might struggle with this too, but I don't know about you guys, I literally, like whenever we're gonna go take a picture, or you know, I'm out in public for some reason and like I'm trying to make a good impression, like I am contracting those abs all the time. That's fine in moderation, but what you don't realize is that you're actually just not relaxing this area at all. And like anything else, your muscles cannot be on 24/7. They need time to relax. They need time to expand and to relax. It'd be like trying to use your hands, both your hands, but literally walking around with fists all day. Like if you never relax your hands, like how are you supposed to pick anything up? How are you supposed to sign your name? How are you supposed to do anything? Oh wait, you can't, because you're clenched 100% of the time. So what you really want to do is to be able to learn how to relax your diaphragm and your abdominal area. So first thing we're going to do is just focus on belly breathing. Again, I would start laying down. This is my little mini couch. laying down with your knees bent. And you really just want to focus, kind of get into that like chill meditative state. And focus on bringing your belly up and then letting it fall. Bringing your belly up, letting it fall. One of the best ways in order to focus on breathing and belly breathing is to breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. What you want is to breathe in for 2 seconds and breathe out for 4 seconds. You want it to be longer on the exhale, slower and longer on the exhale, and really focus on shorter on the inhale. But when you're inhaling, you really want to focus on expanding the belly. So 2 and 4 is where I usually have people start, because it does take time in order to get good at this. For me personally, I couldn't even do a back bend because I couldn't breathe in that position because my abdominal muscles were so tight and locked down. I couldn't really belly breathe. I felt like it was just like stretching. It was almost uncomfortable. That turned into pelvic floor issues, urinary incontinence, like all this stuff that just started snowballing. And I was like, well, what is going on here? Well, really, it was that my abdominal area just wasn't able to expand. My diaphragm wasn't expanding at all. So first, you want to kind of work on the belly breathing. So we got in for 2 through the nose, out for 4 through the mouth, all while focusing on expanding the belly when you breathe in and letting it fall back while you breathe out. You want to have a relaxed neck and shoulders because you don't want these to be incorporating these accessory muscles. They should really only be utilized, your neck muscles should really only be utilized when you're really doing something strenuous like running, you know, working out, things like that. So then, say you've mastered the art of belly breathing, which will take a while, don't get me wrong, but you realize you're like, I think this part of my belly is just really bound down. I'm gonna show you guys a super awesome diaphragm release technique that you can do on your own. What you're gonna wanna do, take your fingers and you're gonna cup them underneath your rib cage. Typically, I like to do it on one side at a time. You could do both sides. You can't do it when you're in standing because your abdominals are engaged. So the best way to do it is either sitting down or lying on your back, depending on what position works best for you guys. Okay, so first we're gonna do sitting down. So if I'm sitting down, I wanna kind of crunch a little bit, and I really want to focus on relaxing my core. Again, I'm going underneath, kind of underneath the rib cage as I breathe out. So I'm gonna breathe in and breathe out and try to get underneath there. Now mine is pretty tight, and so I have a hard time doing it on myself in a seated position. I personally like to do it laying on my back. It's also harder too because I'm talking. So I am using my core as well. And I can already tell my right side is way tighter than my left side. So again, I'm going up and under. So I'm going up and underneath my rib cage, and I'm kind of wiggling it from side to side just to feel how it is feeling. Like, is it tight? Does it feel tight? Like right there. And it's a little bit sore, like a little sore, like a tight muscle. It's not painful, you guys. If you feel a lot of pain, then maybe this isn't for you, and going to a professional who's trained in doing this can do this for you, like a physical therapist. So if you get under there and you're like, oh my God, that's the worst thing ever, definitely make an appointment with your local physical therapist who you trust. Say, hey, I think I'm locked down in this area, and maybe it's contributing to XYZ that I'm not able to do the way I want it to do. Could you help me with this? I saw this YouTube video of this wild physical therapist girl. Feel free to bring this video to them too, just to show them like what you're talking about, what you tried, and just being open and honest in your communication that way. I'm going to show you guys how to do it laying down as well. This is going to be like my favorite way to do it. You're going to come under, 2 hands on one side, and really just kind of wiggle those muscles and that diaphragm under that rib cage, holding it there, trying to breathe through it. Because if you hold it in one place and try to breathe while you're doing it, you're essentially effectively stretching that muscle, because you're forcing the diaphragm to work to stretch around where the pressure is. This one you want to be really gentle with, because you're kind of going underneath the rib cage. And again, if you have any issues, you're going to want to make an appointment with your local PT, physical therapist, or physio if you're international. And I am just kind of curling with one hand, and I'm kind of coming in this way with like a karate chop finger on the other hand. And really my left side isn't bad, it's all my right side. And you might find that too. And what I would recommend too is kind of, so do that for a couple minutes and then go back to your belly breathing. And see if your rib cage is able to expand better. And the other part that I didn't talk as much about is that when your rib cage expands, it doesn't just expand this way, it actually flares out sideways as well. So it's gonna come up this way, but it also is gonna flare this way. And that's gonna be something that you really want to focus on, maybe in more of an advanced video once you get the belly breathing down. And I will be showing that in the future. So if you guys haven't, please subscribe. It really helps support me and this channel, and it allows me to make more videos for you guys, knowing that I am on the right track and I am showing up for you guys in the way that you need me to. Feel free to drop a comment below if this was helpful, or if you have any other areas of the body that you are looking for information on, especially physical therapy specific diagnoses, stretches, exercises, anything like that. I'll be happy to film a video to help you guys out and connect you with more information. All right, guys, I hope you have an awesome one. Thank you so much. See you soon.